What's up, Brain Blasters? Welcome back to the State of Slime, where we present all your Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl news. As you know guys, Crocker got a rework in the most recent patch. Let's take a look at his new frame data, go through what you need to know for matchups going forward, and head to the lab to figure out where he stands in the new meta. If at any point you're liking this video, be sure to hit like and subscribe to stay updated on the best of ASB. Since the game's release, Crocker's been in a bit of an awkward spot. Out the gate, his combination of large hitbox and low weight left him incredibly susceptible to fast combos from characters such as Sandy, Jenny, and Chum Chum. While he was able to occupy a mid-tier niche for a while due to his variety of anti-air options and the sheer power of his net grab aerial, the gravity update shuffled the meta to the point that strategies based on flying were no longer viable. This left him in the unfortunate spot of being an anti-meta character for a meta that no longer existed. The Nutty Professor's popularity waned for months, to the point of him becoming nothing but a meme character, with his occasional presence at any tournament being a pleasant, though always brief, surprise. Crocker mains shifted from countercultural vanguards keeping the meta fair to persecuted victims of an unloving game developer, living only for the prestige of beating the one Cosmo main at any given tournament. However, with the most recent balancing and story patch, the few Crocker mains that survived the Great Purge of 2023 have something to be excited for. This crazy teacher was basically rebuilt from the ground up, with most of his anti-aerials converted into viable clash attacks, his weight being updated to account for the increased stress from living with his mother, and his ground recoveries were given longer invincibility frames, providing him with a unique new movement option, as we'll discuss later. First, let's look at the Looney Instructor's anti-aerials. The major change in this patch was to a single vertical spasm, which has been replaced with a new 3-part combo, achievable by spamming neutral or neutral forward while shaking the controller. The faster the controller shakes, the longer his chain of stress-induced seizures. Each stage lasts 18 frames with 4 frames of invincibility. You can also beat cancel to opt for just the first stage, prompting him to only say fairies and slightly decrease the stale move negation for more punishing combos, but you'll be left fast-falling in a vulnerable state. Otherwise, the full attack will last at least 3 stages, cycling between Fairy, God, and Parents in order, with the benefit of the lack of vulnerability frames on the fall afterwards. If we look at the attack's hitboxes, we can see that Crocker's body size is a little bit misleading, since the attack actually covers the entire vertical length of the screen above and below him. This provides the tenured Fairy Hunter with great ground cover, air punishment, and the ability to zone while in air, a potent combination of skills that Crockpots are sure to take advantage of. Next up for you guys is his updated weight. As you can see, unfortunately, the poor guy let himself go in the break since last SlimeCon Japan, where he lost to the combined powers of Reptar and Carly Shay. More on that here. The tragic loss, combined with the constant nagging of his mother, with whom he is again forced to live, compromised his previously lean and light build and left him unable to stay in fighting shape for several months. But, as it turns out, this is great news for Crocker mains, as it means he is far less vulnerable to early kills and can trade hits longer, allowing players more time to set up the Sugma Croc full combo. With this drastic weight gain does come some downsides, as his squishy build still leaves him weak to bladed characters like Sokka, Leonardo, and Pablo. However, his powerful grabs, his long-ranged forward and backward aerials, and his Abracablender are great approach tools to make up for this below-average defense. Overall, this shouldn't be too much of a setback, as his strong damage-racking capabilities and excellent camping game makes him resilient to most brawlers, so long as he keeps his distance. In addition, all that time in the Crocker cave means that he was able to build new inventions and become an even more formidable fighter than he was before. Those with the VR expansion will have access to an exclusive moveset with improved speed thanks to his new Crocker Shocker, which can help shave off seconds from your fast lap. And the lucky few who were able to get their hands on the Slime Simulator bundle will be able to perform more damaging jabs depending on your facial expression. In addition, the buff given by purchasing the Smokelodeon Air Diffuser makes performing shorter combos like the Dimsdale Dive, the Poof Poof Punch, and the Mother Cancel much more profitable, especially when going against combo food like Bubble Bass, Otis, or Chucky Finster. Maybe this time around, he'll be able to stand up against Norm the Genie, who's known to be one of the strongest glass cannons in the roster and has had a consistent advantage over him since the game's release. Before we finish, let's go over a handful of smaller changes in this new patch. While each one individually isn't enough to affect your playing, it's still worth mentioning them to show any minor balance changes. Box Ghost's up special now has less end lag, so it'll be a lot harder to punish him after teching one of those. This is especially true if he has any clones on the stage, as you'll only have a few crucial frames to recover to have any chance at fighting back. Thankfully, he now has to wait much longer for his head to return before he can throw it again, clocking in at just under 3 seconds. This is clearly in response to the number of players exploiting his bubble wrap cancel glitch, which has resulted in a number of notable tournaments ending with unbelievable 0 to defeat combos. Meanwhile, the balance team really did Squidward dirty. His dash attack now has more end lag, his forward air has more landing lag, and his clarinet solo range dramatically decreased, which honestly makes a lot of sense and has been a long time coming. Boots now does less damage to himself when using his side special, and has received a generous cut to a lot of his aerial lags. This means his up tilt can be cancelled into a weak swiper negation and result in a drag down, normally at around 75%. As long as you activate his bananagrams by lightly flicking and not fully pushing down the Z button, you can take advantage of his increased range and finish off your opponent by throwing a banana at them in real life. On the bright side, Mr. Crocker's ears are now invincible during parts of his neutral air. And that's about it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and tune in next time where we discuss how one weird legal technicality could lead us to seeing Bert and Ernie on a future roster. And, as always, keep on sliming.